Good morning, everyone, and it's an absolute honor for me to be standing here right now. I sincerely thank Etisalat for giving me this opportunity. It's completely nerve-wracking. But yeah, thank you for giving me this amazing opportunity. So, to start off, my name is Melissa, and I'm a baker. I wasn't always a baker, though. My career started off as a biomedical scientist whilst residing in London, until one fine day, I met my lovely husband, and I decided to move back to Sri Lanka to embark on this new journey of mine as a wife. I figured, given my educational qualifications and my experiences in the field, that finding a job and securing a job should be a piece of cake. It wasn't. This was when my true challenge began. Needless to say, the transition was a stressful one. And we all know how when bad things happen, they happen in clusters. But that's a story for a different day. Anyway, I was desperately in need of that happy place. And something that I've always done when I've been stressed is bake. So you can imagine there was a lot of stress baking going on, and as a result, there was a lot of cake lying around my house, and as a result of that, my husband is now on a diet. He's sitting somewhere there. But it was also during this time that I very spontaneously decided to create an Instagram account with my nickname Bella to merely separate my baking pictures from my personal profile. I really didn't expect it to snowball into what it is today. When I started off on Instagram, there was no selling because that wasn't the motive behind it. But when the few followers I had at the time started DMing me and asking me, oh, how much is this? Are you selling? I figured, hey, wait a minute, I don't really have a job right now, so might as well sell some cake and make some money, which is what I ended up doing. And then when I realized that people actually liked the product, this was when my confidence in it started to grow as well. And I thought to myself, okay, let's get a little innovative with the product now. And this was when I started introducing new things into the market, things that I felt that Colombo hadn't been introduced to yet, things that I missed from back in London. It was just little things. And I firmly believe that this was one of those aspects that certainly gave me a competitive advantage in a market that was already so densely saturated with bakers and home bakers. It was also during this time that my personal addiction to taking pictures and also dressing up and posing for pictures, like most people do, came into play. For me, this page was never really just a product page for me. It was also a platform for me to share my interests, my rants, you name it. So because it was also lifestyle-based, and because it was also relatable, a brand started to form around it. A lot of people have asked me why Bakes by Bella was anonymous at the start. And if I'm being honest, I just really didn't want my face on there. No marketing gimmick there at all. I just didn't want my face on there. But as I went along, I started to realize what a curious little land I now lived in. And that element of mystery that surrounded Bella was something that seriously played into the curiosity of people and worked massively to my advantage. Another question I've been asked is, why polka dots? Okay, so I honestly love polka dots. My dog is a polka dot. But until this point, again, it didn't occur to me just how many polka dotted items of clothing I had in my wardrobe. So the more I started having polka dots in my posts, people started to relate it to Bakes by Bella. I guess it's human nature that when you see something over and over again, it starts to form a lasting impression on your brain. And this ended up creating a brand identity of sorts for me. Today, Bakes by Bella is a household name. You see this logo, and you instantly know that it's Bakes by Bella. You see a jar with cake in it, you automatically assume it's one of Bella's jars. You see a drip cake, and you end up relating it to Bella again. You see polka dots, you end up relating it to Bella. Why is this? Because these are things you see around so often, but why relate it to Bella? I think you relate it to Bella because I made the product relatable to you by humanizing the posts and making the picture speak instead of just leaving it static. As a result of these unintentional little aspects that I went purely on my gut instinct on, by the way, today I'm the very proud owner of a successful little cafe in the heart of Colombo that attracts young and old alike. Me being a person who came here that had zero opportunities in a field that I thought I knew best and in a field that I was trained in. If you were to ask me right now what my biggest accomplishment is at the moment, it's that I've been able to provide opportunities for 15 other people. And to me, my priority is the people that I work with, my team. Because I know that if they're happy, my customer is automatically taken care of. This brand, for me, is something that's been built on my values, principles, and my burning desire for mutual respect. Anyone who knows me well enough knows that these are topics I'm extremely vocal on. And in a town as small as ours, and especially on a digital spectrum, it's extremely easy to mislead people. So for me, I find small victories in knowing that the moment people start to understand the brand value, that it's easy for me to turn a hater into a fan. But something that I've also always done is when I have my little team meetings with my staff, I always remind them it's super easy to sell a product, but it's building a brand. That's the task. So if you were to ask me to give you 3 tips on brand building, it would be the following. 1, you need to constantly evolve and reinvent your product. You have to understand that the customer bores super easily. So your content needs to be fresh, exciting, engaging, and current. 2, you need to motivate your base, your followers, to be the best versions of themselves. It could be something as small as a random motivational post that you'd put up at a random time in the day. But you have no idea what sort of an impact that could have on someone who's having a bad day. Or it could be using the power of your social media to make one small action in your community that could end up having a ripple effect. Doing stuff like that is so much more powerful than being a keyboard warrior. And 3, what you need to figure out what your purpose and motivation is behind building this brand that you want to embark on. For me, my purpose has evolved as I have. When I started off, my purpose was solely to find a happy place and a stress buster. But today, my purpose has evolved into something so much more. Today, my happy place is knowing that I've managed to build a little haven with free Wi-Fi and great food and coffee, by the way, a haven of sorts for people to come in, interact, discuss ideas, work, study, and moreover, use the platform that I have built as a platform for yourselves to showcase your talents. This is something I do quite regularly. If you follow me, you would know. I love giving my platform to people to showcase their talents. And to me, nobody gave me a platform like that. So, and it's an achievement to know that I've been able to do that. So what do I want to ask you? Those of you interested in building a brand, what is your motive behind it? What is it that you want to achieve from it? And now, obviously, it's, it's all right to fail. I've failed numerous times. There are times that I'm really not sure of what I'm doing anymore. It's extremely challenging. Of course, working a 9-to-5 job is so much easier because you know that that paycheck's waiting for you at the end of the month. It's not the same when you're on your own path. But like, for me, there are times that it gets so crazily exhausting. I have 10 calls coming into me with 10 different problems that I need to solve before I even leave the house some days. But at times like that, when I'm so completely exhausted, is when I remind myself why I started this in the first place and how far it's come from where I began. And I remind myself that this is my baby now. And if I don't see it through, nobody else is going to. So when it comes to taking that challenge, I say, dive in head first and seriously enjoy your journey, because it's only then that one day you're going to be able to look back on everything you've done and say, damn, I did that. And right now, it's one of those moments for me where I look back and I'm like, damn, I did that. And I'm standing here right now in front of all you wonderful people. So thank you so much for having me, guys. And it's an absolute honor to have spoken today.